Whenever I'm in Boston, I find myself running along the shores and over the bridges of the Charles River. But what amazes me every time is the amount of activity taking place on the water itself. Boston has a thriving rowing scene, and the largest boathouse on the river belongs to CRI, or Community Rowing.
I think CRI is probably the easiest and most accessible place to learn how to row on the river, and probably one of the most successful places in the country. We have a lot of boats, we have a lot of programs for people to row, starting from nothing, and you learn what an oar is, learn what an oarlock is, all those basic things right from the very beginning. If you want to just do it casually after that, then there are opportunities to do it casually. Come down, row in a sculling boat whenever you want to, or come down, get together with some friends and row in a boat. Some athletes like to get competitive, so we have a number of competitive programs where you can work out as hard as you want to make yourself as fast as you want to be.
Looking around, there's really only one boathouse on the river that lets you kind of start out as a novice and pick up what you're doing and learn. And that's CRI Community Rowing.
I got into rowing because actually a college friend of mine asked me if I wanted to try rowing with him, and I thought, okay, whatever rowing is, and surprisingly we both went to college in the New England area and we just never got involved with rowing, and so after moving here to Boston, we both decided that it was a good thing to try, and we tried it, and we came here and did learn to row, and fell in love with it.
So I started rowing 2 years ago. I took a Learn to Row class in June of '09, and I loved it, so I started rowing about 6 days a week, and at the end of that year I raced for the first time in a single, and I didn't flip, which is pretty much all you can say about it. The whole race that I was in was ahead of me, and the race behind me beat me, and the third race started catching up. I mean, it was really fun to get out there and feel like I had not flipped.
CRI is one of the newest and certainly the largest boathouse in Boston. Its facilities are unrivaled on the Charles River. Peter Leese, a member of CRI and an old friend of mine, gave me a quick tour of the boathouse while I was in town.
So this is obviously the boat bay. This was actually modeled after a tobacco barn instead of an actual more traditional boathouse. So it basically can breathe. We're in ambient temperature here. These are the boats for the comp men team in this section, and as you look around, these are eights that pan around and you see all kinds of different boats for different crews, and the oar rack, etc. All these white boats are generally more of the Learn to Row group, General Sweeps 1, General Sweeps 2, but lots of opportunities at different levels. So this is the main erg room here at CRI, as you can see. This is, I think, the largest boathouse. It's the largest boathouse I've ever seen. And so this room gets utilized heavily in the morning and the afternoon by all kinds of programs. And it's mostly community rowing, but also other crews come and join us here, like Boston College and some high school crews. This is the Somerville Sculling Pavilion. It's its official name, and as you can see, it's the little boats, basically singles and doubles, pairs. And this whole left side is all CRI available boats for people who are in the programs or who have signed up, taken the training. And then the whole other side is private boat owners. And so again, there are more and more opportunities to row. I love sculling. It's a very different kind of rowing than sweeps.
Sculling is where every person has 2 oars, and it's a much more balanced power between the 2 sides. And so the team boats are mostly sweep boats, and that's where everybody rows on one side. So I row port. There are people who are starboards, and people who've been doing it for a long time, you can actually even see how they're built because they develop muscles for the side.
CRI lives up to its name. It's truly a community boathouse. Two programs in particular that illustrate this point are their adaptive rowing program and their GROW program for high school girls.
I also like the community aspect. I volunteer with the adaptive rowers in the evenings, and that's been a totally different experience for me. It's like I love to row, and these folks love to row, and here they have an opportunity to do that. And so it's like that love of rowing that we share, and so you kind of bond with each other. It's like as rowers. I've done a little bit here and there with GROW, which is the Boston Public School girls rowing program, and I rowed with them once. I've met with them because of the marathon, the charity marathon group that I'm involved with, and you see these girls who would never have had an opportunity to row. It's kind of an elite sport. And they're out here and they're doing it, and they also are really excited about rowing. Rowing is people love it. It's kind of an addiction, and CRI, you just walk in and you say, I want to learn how to row. They have pretty inexpensive programs, and they say, sure, come on in.